And we're all excited about hoop out here, 8 o'clock Friday night. And want to get as many students and people out, community people out as we can. It's something that we've tried to do over the years, and it's caught on to some degree, but not as big as we really like. So we've got a few surprises, some interesting things. I'm not going to spoil the surprises, but it should be a fun night. And I think the students will really get into what we're doing, and hopefully it'll be a traditional thing going forward. I'm excited about this team. It's the most different team I've ever coached. I think we all know that we're going to have to play a little bit different. We don't necessarily have true low post players. All of our guys with size like to gravitate towards the outside. And I'm not going to change, like a Torrent Fitzpatrick, who was my leading three-point shooter percentage-wise last year. I'm going to let him shoot. And I'm going to make the other team that has those 7', 6'10" guys go chase him outside. But we're going to open up that basket. We'll be more of a driving team. We'll be more of a team that I think can shoot a lot better from the three-point line, which has not been a strength of ours. And at the same time, I think I know our defense will be our identity. It'll be our focal point. It'll be who we are. I do see us playing faster. I see us speeding up the game. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a little bit different than what I've had to do in the past, so I've had to kind of look at some different schemes and things that really fit our personnel without totally deviating from what we've done that has helped us become fairly successful since this past year. We've been a little bit banged up over the last couple weeks. AC's been out, Jordan's been out, Big Jordan's been out, Javante's been out, Moose has been out, and Juwan's has been back. But I expect everybody to be back, if not the first day of practice, somewhere around the early part of next week. So we should be at full strength sometime next week. But we've been a little bit banged up over the last week and a half. The Sun Dome, we're so excited about being in the Sun Dome. Being back here on campus where our students are here. We expect our crowds to be more consistent because it's right here on campus. With the new environment, it's so fan-friendly. Just a great environment, I think, to come to an event, to come to a basketball game. So we're really excited about that. We give a lot of credit to our athletic director, Doug Willard, for making that kind of investment, the trustees and all the different people, the president, who have supported a brand new Sun Dome, which was so badly needed for our campus as well as our basketball program. The guys that I think, since there's so many new guys on our team that you don't know about, but I'll give you this statement. Who's been the most surprising guys? Probably Javante Hawkins. He's probably a little bit better than advertised. He's a very good player. Very aggressive, attacks the rim, shoots the ball out better than we thought. I think he fits in very well athletically with how we want to defend and guard people. Zach as well. Zach, I kind of originally thought Lede would be more of a redshirt kind of guy, and I think we just found a Dennis Rodman type kind of guy. And this guy is so active, and he gets rebounds, block shots, he's dunking, he's a quick riser. So we got, he's kind of forcing my hand to find some minutes for him, and it'll be interesting how he continues to develop as time goes on. And the other guy I think that's really had a strong preseason that I guess you wouldn't necessarily put him in this category is Sean Noriega. Probably in the last 3 weeks, he's been one of our top 4 or 5 guys out there on the floor. He's been not just shooting the lights out, but creating his own shot a little bit more than ever, and defending, at least solid, to the point where he can hold his own, and that's been kind of the area that Sean had to get better at, and he's done that. So I wouldn't be surprised if Sean has a big year and really steps forward in his senior year and gives us that perimeter shooting and a consistent play that really helps our team. So that's all I got. Any questions?
Stan, what do you tell the players about the raised expectations? Obviously, you had a tremendous year last year. You're coming into a new building. All that's kind of added maybe onto their shoulders a little bit. Do they feel more pride in having to try to represent at a higher level now?
I think they do. I just look at how they've come back from last year. They have not walked around with a big head, feeling like they were ride. They really, worked extremely hard. They bought into the things that I think are very valuable for a team of being team players, the effort, the intensity that it requires to prepare yourself for a season. The whole attitude, the whole, I think, culture of our program has really changed from that experience last year. Our guys fully expect to continue what we've done and build on. They don't want to go backwards, and they know they have to put a lot of work in to get there. So I've been very pleased with that. I think Twirling Fitzpatrick is providing unbelievable leadership. I mean, he's been as good a leader as we've had since I've been here. Chris Howard was terrific too, but he's really stepped up in a big way. Ronnie Anderson was good last year. And I really think as time goes on, especially when AC gets healthy, just the way he plays and the way he commands the presence on the court of getting things done, will be so strong in that area, which is so important, just having great leadership. But I really like kind of the mindset of our team. They're very business-like guys. They're no nonsense. If there's something, we're not perfect, and if something arises, they handle things as a group. If it comes to me, I got to deal with it, but they tend to handle things and let me know what just happened.
Coach, Dick Rudman, it sounded like Summer League, he made his priority to be more of a big inside of post player, wasn't taking threes, wasn't stepping out. Do you get a sense for where he fits in between 3 and 4? His minutes could be split right now?
Well, they'll be split between 3 and 4. And I don't know which way we're going to go. I probably, in my mind, have about 4 guys I can see in the starting lineup right now. I don't have a fifth. And, he could be a starter at the 4, he could be a starter at the 3. I don't know. I mean, we'll figure that out, but he'll be out there on the court. It's been remarkable the changes in some of these guys' bodies as time has gone on. Vic's been here, this is his 3rd season, and he's about 45 pounds heavier than when he first got here. He's about 232 right now, and he was somewhere around 180 something, 188 or something when he first arrived here. So he's better suited now to handle that kind of play if he has to go down there. I think the one thing that he's bought into is just being a versatile player, and he wants to be, guy wants to be in the league, and he's got the makeup to do so. But for him to get there, I think he has to use what he's been blessed with. That's his size and his versatility. He can shoot the ball from range. He's improved his ball handling, which was a big area he had to improve on. But more importantly, if you're 6'8", 6'9", and you got a 6'2" guarding you, you gotta be able to go down low and get baskets. So I really think he's bought into how important that is, and he will be a guy that we don't have a true low post guy, but we have multiple guys that at different times will find their way around the basket, and he's one of those guys.
Stan, since the tournament, maybe in your travels outside the Bay Area, you find people maybe now know about your program more, have a different perception of your program because of the success you had in the tournament last year?
We definitely have been received in a better light and with more respect wherever we go, whether it's on the recruiting trail, whether we're in a home visit. Obviously, our recruiting is improved dramatically from last year's results, and that's what it's all about. When you win, people want to gravitate towards winning programs, and your recruiting should improve, your fan base should improve, the excitement around your program should improve, and so it's important for us to maintain and continue to build on that, and rather than be a one-year wonder. We certainly don't want to do that.
You mentioned early on Musa being a guy that was fighting for minutes. How does he fit in? How does he look in what you're seeing right now?
Musa will definitely get minutes. I mean, he's going to be a factor out there. He shoots the ball. He's a guy that's got a great build for a college player already. He plays fairly hard out there on the court. It's just a matter, I think for all new guys, it's always that adjustment of how do you get used to playing with other guys that are really good too. When you're used to coming out of high school or junior college and you take 25 shots a game, you shoot anytime you want, he's just got to make that adjustment. He's willing to do that. He definitely knows he needs to do that. He's just making that kind of adjustment. So I think as time goes on and he becomes a more well-rounded player, he'll be, even, his minutes will increase. But I definitely see him out there on the court. He shoots the ball. He's a guy that you can blink your eyes and he might knock down 3 threes right in a row, just like that. And he's a very streaky, gifted, long-range shooter.
Stan, you guys went 14-2 at home playing downtown last year. Have you talked to the players about, making this a true home court advantage, and how important is it to have an environment like this that you can have as a huge advantage for yourselves?
We will have that conversation. We haven't had it yet. We've never, ever worked out on the main floor yet. So we've never been in this building, so we've never had to, basically have that kind of conversation. But we will work out in there next week. I don't know which days, but we'll have 1 or 2 days we'll go over here and just get a taste of the new Sundome. But we will have that conversation, and we had a great experience being at 3 different locations, especially the Forum. They treated us exceptionally well, and we did build that into a nice home court advantage for us. But this is our true home, and 14-2 is nice, but I'd love to be 16-0.
Stan, you talked to you guys about Austin, that George might have to pick up a larger role. How have you seen him embrace that and getting more and more able to move up and down the court and put himself in position?
Yeah, well, he's working very, very hard, and we saw. First, he was a little stagnant. We weren't seeing much, and we saw a really nice improvement with, especially him just getting up and down the court. That's been probably the most important issue for him, because if he can change ends of the court, offense to defense, defense to offense, him being 7'3" and 320 plus pounds is a presence alone to help us, whether it's setting a screen, taking away the paint for the other team, blocking shots, rebounding, whatever it may be. What continues, I shouldn't say continue, what happens occasionally is he's been prone to injuries. And so, like, now he's been out for about a week, and then when he comes back, now we've taken a step backwards. Now how quickly do we get back to where we are, and then continue to make some more improvements. So I see a bright future. I don't know when it's going to happen. We need for it to happen to some degree this year, for him to give us some minutes at some times. If I'm a guessing man right now, I'd say, hey, maybe we get 2 to 4 minutes each half out of it. That'd be nice. And then maybe down the road we get to January, February, maybe it's more. But I think his best basketball is going to be ahead of him. I hope we get some of that this year, but I think it's going to be a process.
How intimidating can a guy at 7'3", I mean, there's not too many guys in college that are at his size and weight. How intimidating can that be for a team coming in?
It's very intimidating. It'll be a layup line alone. I mean, they'll look across there and say, holy smokes, we got to deal with this guy. So if we can put, the physical tools to work out there on the court, with him not just having the size presence, but being able, this game is so fast now. The one thing that I am excited about, when I look at, just how the game's evolving, and you're seeing NBA teams playing small ball. Miami Heat play with basically Chris Bosh at the center. And then you see European basketball, how they play in the Olympics and things like that. I get excited because I know that that's kind of the way things are going. But I also know if you do have a guy like that nobody else has, that can stay with the pace of the game, that can maybe handle responsibilities defensively, then you've got something that's a game changer. And so, that's what we want to do, is help him develop into a game changer.
Coach, what does this team have to do this year for you to consider this season's success when it's all said and done?
That's a good question. Well, we certainly have our eyes set on, the NCAA tournament again, and we want to advance. We want to challenge at the very top of the league, and that includes challenging for a championship, whether it's the regular season, conference tournament, or both. One thing that I like for this team before we even get to those kind of goals is to really do a great job in that non-conference season. It almost cost us last year, and so we'll define our goals a little bit closer when we get to conference play. But I really want our attention on that non-conference schedule and the teams that we play. We play some really good teams. We've got UCF twice, Georgia out of the SEC, George Mason is a very good basketball team. We got to go to Oklahoma State. I don't know if you've ever been there before. That is a hard place to play. So we've got some tough games, and we can't look past that. And so I want to concentrate on that because that, maybe put us in a better position going into conference play. But we certainly have our eyes set on some lofty goals.
Now that the NCAA tournament isn't just a distant goal, a theory, it's a reality, you've been there, done that. What difference does that make? These guys have experienced it, might have a sense of what has to happen for that goal to be reached.
Well, the good and the bad about last year is we reached the NCAA tournament, we advanced and won a couple games, but I think we all left the Ohio game feeling like we could have accomplished more. And I really feel like this team has carried that mindset into this season with the work ethic, and they want to do more. We know we have some areas that maybe we're not as strong as we were last year, but we do feel like we're stronger in some areas that we weren't as good last year as well. But I really think this team will really be aggressive in terms of doing more than what it achieved last year. The NCAA tournament is a great goal, but this team wants to do more than just that. But we know we've got a lot of work to do.
Hey, Coach, as I know you don't concern yourself with what teams are in the conference and stuff, but as the conference is kind of going to get a little makeover, do you see a window there for you guys to really elevate and become one of the top teams in the Big East on an annual basis? Do you feel like that window is open for you right now?
Well, I don't think that's necessarily next year. I think there's a window right now. The best team in our league on paper going into this season is Louisville. And I think our team feels like we can play with Louisville. So, that's how we feel. And so it's, that's how the league is shaping up this year. And then next year, there's some really good teams coming in. There's some really good teams leaving. But it's still a really, really good conference. That's not going to change.
All right, you guys good?